So this is a long overdue makeup of the week. This is probably just going to be showing you what I'm going to be wearing for the last couple days of the current week that I'm in. This is probably going to go up later. I've been struggling like crazy with a high-speed internet connection, so let's just jump right in and see how far we can go with this. I'm going to clip back my hair just so it doesn't get into the way. I did already apply my Grande Lash MD Lash Enhancing Serum. I've been loving this stuff. If you're really in the market for one that actually works, it is super pricey. I would suggest picking this up during the VIB sale that's coming up in November. So this stuff is beautiful. I've been applying it. Sometimes I'll apply it twice, once in the morning and once at nighttime, but generally I'll just apply it at nighttime. But I already have that going on the brows. As usual, just to cut down on some of the time, I did put in my Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown, and then at the very tail ends of my brows, just to deepen those up a little bit, I have a little sample of the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. This is the darkest shade that they have. It's in number 6. I put these in, and then I also topped everything with the Lancome Sorcel Styler in shade number 3, which is Brun. Love this combination, can't really get enough of it. Also on my face, I've already prepped with like skincare and everything, but I did also apply my MAC Strobe Cream just to act as sort of like a luminizing primer. The sun is going in and out from behind the clouds. I tried filming this video yesterday and it just turned into a hot mess. So I only got about halfway through it and it just got too dark to see anything. On my lips, earlier I did have a little bit of this one. I'm trying to finish this off. This is one of the Clarins Instant Light Lip Comfort Oils. This one's in number 1, Honey, and it is almost finished. So I was trying to finish this one off, but I did receive a new one through Octoly. You guys know that I've been testing out a couple different ones from Octoly. I got this one in number 6, that's the mint one. But the newest one that just showed up, I'm so excited about this. This one is actually the shade number 2, which is Raspberry. And can I just tell you how beautiful these are sitting out? Just the shades of them look gorgeous. Like, these two together are beautiful. This is the prettiest, like, aqua green color. This one smells like candies. This new one that I just got, this is what the boxes look like when you do purchase them. It's just a plain red box. You know, the different variations of their collection, some of them have shimmer, some of them kind of adjust to the shade levels. This one just adds the slightest hint of a pink tint to your lips, but I have to say, out of the 3, this one is probably my favorite. So I'll apply a little bit more of this since the honey one has absorbed up in, and I'm in love with the scent of this raspberry one. The doe foot applicator on these is extremely large. It's very cushy on the lips, very plush. It is occasionally difficult to get back in and out of the tube, but it just feels so nice going on the lips. They're not sticky whatsoever. I've decided that these are my new favorite way to prep my lips for whatever is gonna go on my lips at the end of my makeup application. So I've usually been reaching for at least one of these, but this one obviously, not only just because it's new, but because it smells so delicious. It smells really good. I really definitely recommend this raspberry one. It smells delightful. Again, today I'm not doing a liquid foundation. We're just doing like a concealer and then powder over the top. So I am combining these two products here. One of them is my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Light 2, which is also called Vanilla, and my all-time favorite concealer, which is the Makeup Forever Full Cover in shade number 3. I am just gonna kind of dot this gently around the face and then blend it in, and then I have this mind-blowing product that I'm so excited to show you guys. I did kind of ruin the surprise since I was trying to film this yesterday and it just didn't work out, but I stopped almost immediately and just saved it for today. So I'm gonna put just the slightest bit of this through any like freckly spots, definitely under the eye area since it is darker, and then you know, I'll add a little bit of that NARS one as well. The NARS one is more for brightening. The Makeup Forever one mostly just matches my skin tone perfectly. I am scraping and scraping against the edges. I'm gonna have to cut this open or take the stopper out or something soon, but I really like the NARS one for brightening purposes. Anywhere that needs brightening, this is the one that I reach for, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to see through here, but I have got like, you know, I'm scraping up against the edges just trying to get something to work with. I did receive a new little cushy beauty blender, just one of the little micro ones for underneath the eye area in my Sephora Play box. I'll toss that up in the cards in case you haven't seen it yet, but I think it's fun. I definitely like to kind of dab the concealer out a little bit first before I go in, just so I don't get spots of concealer on collecting in my little sponge here, but I feel like they work great around the eye area and around the nose, all those hard to reach spots that the big large ones don't really, you know, they don't really fit into those tight areas very well. So I'm gonna blend this around and then I'll come back with that new product that I want to talk about. Okay, so I did use both my little beauty blender one for under the eyes, as well as my Real Techniques blending sponge to get that handled, and then immediately I'm going to go in with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. This is just one of those little mini ones, the little travel sizes. I noticed that they are sold out online, but they don't have them in stores either, so I'm going to take a little angled highlighter brush from Real Techniques. I just feel like these work the best, and go underneath the eye area just to brighten that section, because I feel like I'm getting sick. I might sound like I'm getting sick, and hopefully that'll just keep that a little bit more brightened than it is initially. Typically I would move on to my Bare Minerals powder foundation in Fairly Light, just because it's in one of my projects, my Finish 5 by Fall. But I've found that with this new product that just arrived, I'm so excited to show it to you. It works better with something, I just haven't tried it with this yet. Maybe I will, I'll try it, see if it'll work just the same, but I'm just going to be using a pressed powder foundation. This one is from MAC. This is the Studio Fix in NW18. I finally found this. It was missing during the time of my inventory, but this is what my powder looks like. Super fair. So I'm going to be using that with this new beautiful little product right here. Check this out. I can't even believe that they thought for 2 seconds that I would be a good candidate to review this on my social media accounts, but this is one of the Artis Elite Collection Mirror Finish Palm Brushes. Let me show you how beautiful this little guy is. And, you know, I've seen like the knockoffs and the dupes at like Marshall's and TJ Maxx and everything, but it just always made me feel kind of weird because it always seemed like they were so top heavy, and then the handle would feel really wobbly and that it would break or something. But I did try using this for probably, I don't know, a minute yesterday, and then I just nixed that whole video. So this is what the palm brush looks like right here. It's absolutely gorgeous. Not only are they insanely expensive, I think this brush is somewhere between $60 and $70, but it's supposed to be the best brush that you'll ever use in your entire life. They did give me a little pamphlet here. So the difference between the Artis brushes and your regular brushes is the uniform application. It says in here that the makeup applies more uniformly due to the Cosma fiber and the uniform structure of the fibers plus the tapered ends. That helps to apply the product more consistently than any sort of animal hair or any other synthetic brushes that you may own, and more fibers do more work with every pass across the surface of the skin. It's supposed to have superior blending, it's supposed to retain the shape better. The Artis brushes are 100% animal free. They did give a couple tips in here on how to properly use the Artis brushes. It says a little bit goes a long way, you don't need as much as you would with your other brushes. It says to float, don't grind, glide, don't bounce. Artiste brushes are designed so well that you only have to place the brush on the area that you want to cover and then gently glide it back and forth until you get the coverage and blend you desire. This one can also be used for the body and for skincare. So you could use this for powder foundations, you can use it for liquid foundations. I thought since it's easier to clean with a powder foundation, it might be easier for my first impression and my first usage of it to be used with powder, and then in my next demo maybe I'll try and use like a liquid foundation or a liquid concealer or something and see how it blends with that. So just dabbing my brush in here. I don't want to get too much product on here. You can see I got a little bit up towards the top, and I'm just gonna kind of glide it over my skin. Feels amazing. It just feels so nice going across the skin. It feels like butter. I mean, not like butter, but you know what I mean. Has this little dip right here where I can put my index finger in. I know that it's there, and sometimes I'll put my finger there, but sometimes it's hard to remember that it's there and to keep it there. It feels nice in the hand. It's weighted, but it's not too heavy. You know what I mean? It feels so soft. Like I don't want to stop applying it to my face because it just feels so nice going across the skin. And it doesn't feel like I'm, you know, caking up my face either. Like it feels really nice. Now I will say it is a little difficult to get right in through this region here. Maybe if you don't do your eyebrows before you're trying to put on your foundation, that might be a different story. But I'm in love with this so far. As far as applying a powder product over my skin, in love with it. I'm really excited to try it out with applying my skincare, but also with applying like a powder foundation or a concealer or something. I'm excited to see how this blends. So next I'm going to move on to my bronzer. I'm going to be using my NARS Laguna bronzer as usual. So I'm just picking up one of these Real Techniques contour brushes. I never go really crazy with my contour, so they did say at the end of your, you know, after you get the rest of your makeup on, it's kind of easy to go back through with your Artiste brush and just kind of blend over the area, make sure everything looks smooth, and or you could use it with like a finishing powder too. I'm just going to kind of put this at the back towards my cheek area, and then I'll probably go around the perimeter of my face. I messed up my hair being clipped back, but I'm actually going to take the Artiste brush and kind of go back through the cheek area and see if that'll just blend that region out and have it look smoother, or if it lifts up any product or anything, but I think it's blending just fine. I don't have any extra product on my brush here. I'm just kind of using what was left over from before, and I think you could get a pretty crisp edge if you're like into contouring. I think you get a, you know, a crisp edge using the edges on this little brush here, but I'm really excited about playing around with this. Definitely let me know if you tried out any of these Artiste brushes of any sort. If you have the ones with the handles or the ones for the eyes, anything like that, let me know what your thoughts are on them. I'm gonna keep this in its pretty little box and, you know, keep it up out of the way so it doesn't get all smushed or something, but it said that they're pretty easy to clean. You can use a microfiber cloth to clean them off, but I'm going to move on to my blush. I have my Burberry blush out here. It is number 8, Misty. This is what it looks like here. It's a very cool toned blush. I feel like even though it looks super cool in the pan on the actual cheeks, it does kind of, you know, tone down a little bit. So I'm just going to apply just a tad bit on there with my MAC 129. Not too crazy because I want to get into the eye products here. I do like having a little bit extra blush towards the back of my cheeks. I just It's just something I like doing, so. The only highlighter that I actually remembered to grab when we were moving that's not completely in storage is my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. So I'm just going in with a Real Technique setting brush, tossing a little bit of this guy on. I like my blush strong, so I didn't go back over the blush region with that Artiste brush just because I like a lot of blush, so it's not too much. What I think is too much and what you think is too much could be two entirely different things. So I just run this around the face a little bit, under the brow, slightly above the brow, do my little sweepy motion thing, and whatever's left over on the brush, I'll run it in between the brows and kind of down the center of the face. I also like to take just a little bit and put it at that inner corner of the eyes just to keep that all lit up and, you know, whatever's left over on the Cupid's bow. Then after all my face products are on, I always go in with my MAC Fix Plus, especially down here because it is so insanely dry. If I don't do this step, I have cracked makeup within like the first hour, and it's not even like cakey makeup. Whatever, if I'm just wearing concealer, it looks all cracky and gross and nasty. So I'm gonna be doing a couple spritzes of my MAC Fix Plus just because it has that glycerin to meld everything together. So here we go. I do have a couple new products that I want to play with, but first I'm going to tight line just at the outer corner. I just like doing this, so I'm taking this little Makeup Forever Aqua XL pencil in, it's just the matte black one, I think it's M10, and run that right at the waterline, the tight line area that's in between my lashes and my eyeball, just at that outer corner. Okay, now hopefully you can see that that kind of just deepened up that area. Hopefully that'll just stay up on that upper tight line region and not transfer down to the waterline. But I had mentioned I wanted to play with some of the pure eye polishes. I love these things. I know there's kind of mixed reviews going around, but I've had a pleasant experience every single time that I've used these. I also have a couple new products from, well, one new product from By Terry. I've had this in the past. This one is the By Terry Ombre Black Star in Bubble Glow number 17. I've had this one for a while. Let me give you a little swatch of this right here. And I didn't get a chance to pick out the shade, so definitely like, you know, medium pink tone. Probably wouldn't be something that I would normally pick out, but I did do a get ready with me a while back with this product, but I did receive a new one recently, and this one is way more my speed. This is one of the Ombre Black Stars in number 5, Misty Rock. This is more of, has more of those like purpley kind of lavender tones to it, and these are fantastic eyeshadow sticks. So that was Bubble Glow number 17 at the top. This is Misty Rock at the bottom, and at first it kind of just looks like a dark shimmery mess, but if you start blending it out and, like, you know, working with it a little bit, you'll get to see it has a lot of dimension to it. It looks really interesting on the eyes. So I was gonna try and mix both the eye products with this new By Terry Ombre Black Star shade number 5, Misty Rock. I really want to play with this one today, and you know, I promised that I would do a look with these, and I really want to do a look with Caviar, the one that's like the green one with those gorgeous sparkles in it. Man, I love that one. I think that one might be one that I enjoy more than these two right here, but I thought I could come up with some kind of like mauve-y toned, purpley sort of look for you guys. Might be an expensive look, but I'm sure you could find alternatives that aren't at the same price point. But anyway, I just wanted to show you how these work. These By Terry Ombre Black Stars, these are their Color Fix Cream eyeshadows. Their Instant Smoothing Glow smudge-free formula. It says it's packed with Tahitian black pearl extracts, which is rich in calcium, has trace elements and pearl proteins for smoothing, reshaping, and perfecting action. The precise pencil with its soft tip embellishes the eyelids with unrivaled shimmering color. It's light-catching, smudge-free, shades Adapt and Layer for natural or smoky eye looks. So I definitely have really been enjoying these. Like I said, these are really nice. The Bubble Glow one, it did have some little teeny micro glitters that seemed to kind of transfer around, but they never really fell down onto my face throughout the day. So I would say if you're going to spend the price that these are, I would say hands down pick a shade that you would use on an everyday basis. Like for me, I probably would not use Bubble Glow number 17 on an everyday basis, but something like this one, Misty Rock number 5, I would use this one more frequently than the other one. So I'm going to do something kind of weird. I'm not going to put down my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I'm just going to kind of smudge out, make sure that my concealer didn't crease anywhere, and I'm just going to go all over the lid with the By Terry product, and then we'll layer other items over the top and see what we come up with. This will be interesting because I have no idea what it's going to end up looking like. So here we go. You can see how beautiful that is. It definitely has those really light, eye-catching, shiny, shimmery particles to it. So I'm just going to put a little bit down. If you just wanted to do like a soft smoky eye, you could definitely do that with one of these pencils, especially this shade. But I'm going to blend this out with my finger. You can use a brush. I might end up using a brush around the crease area. Let me see if I got something. Just like I said, just using my ring finger to blend this out quickly before it starts to set. Hopefully you can see me. I'm going to go back in with just a touch more because I want it a little bit more impactful. More so at the front. Man, that shimmer is so pretty. And I'll go just a touch underneath too. Sometimes cream shadows are hard to work with, but for the most part, I think it's blended enough with what I'm going to do. I have plans to put 2 other cream shadows in with what I have going on now, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect at this point. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these other 2 pure eye polishes that I had set aside. I have the purple one over here in the shade Velvet. As you can see right there, it's gorgeous. I wanted to put this one on the outside, kind of, you know, outside triangle area of my eye, and then possibly this one at the inner corner, just the inner corner. This one's in Satin. It's like the lightest pink cool tone shade that they offer. So let's go in with the dark first in case that goes terribly wrong. So I really have to smack these against my hand to get them to just get up through that trampoline meshy part that they have there. So you can see, and I just work with the tiniest little fleck. I get about that much on my pinky, and then I'll dab off a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'll just work in very small areas. Let's see how this works. The cool thing about these eye polishes, I'll clean that up in a second, is that you can put them down as a base and put dry eyeshadows or cream shadows over the top of them, or you can wear them all on their own. They dry down incredibly fast, or you can also dab them on top of a look that you've already put down, like what I'm doing right now. So I think they're really versatile. I really like them, and I know some people just don't like them. Some people, I've heard that they dry out quite fast. I'm gonna have to get a blending brush and try and salvage that region. I can go back through with the powder shadow of that if I need to, if I didn't work fast enough, but I mean, I just think they're so pretty. All the shades, all of them have something to offer. I'm pulling this in just a little bit on the outer corner, so it kind of has that V shape. So purple on, you know, through the crease region, down onto the lid just a little bit. I'm going to take the tiniest little bit and try and go underneath. one a little bit goes a long way. I'll probably have to clean up a little bit with like a brush at the end, but I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm gonna move over to this eye right now, and then I can go back through with some powder shadow and just kind of soften that outside edge up a little bit, but I love these things. So let's do this eye. Okay, so I think I'm done with the purple. I could, you know, mess around for another 10 minutes and get it perfect, but I like the way that it looks. I like it just a little smudgy, a little grungy looking, so I have the velvet one down, and you know, when you're working with just one cream shadow, that's one thing, but when you're trying to mess with like 2 or 3 and layer them, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. So I'm going to move on to the satin one and just brighten that inner corner, hopefully salvage a little bit of that inner region, and then we can move on to if I do liner or not. So when I open up satin, it definitely doesn't have near the amount of product coming out of this just because I use it so much. So let me smack it around a little bit. That brought up a little bit. Usually I have to dip into the actual little spongy trampoline cushion part of this one, but I'm gonna get a little bit, brighten up that inner corner. I think that brightening up just that front region just makes it pop just a little bit more. So I'll do the same on the other eye. Be right back. I think what I'm actually going to do is take my little MAC quad here. This one right here, it's very light, offers minimal coverage, but it's such a pretty shade. I'm going to take that and just go right through this region here just so it smooths it out just a tiny bit. I probably should have done that before I put down that velvet shade, the velvet eye polish, but that's okay. Just run this right through this region here just to soften things up and smooth it out, hopefully. I kind of like the way that it looks personally. As usual, I'll be keeping both of my Naked palette and my feminine palette from Urban Decay in my makeup bag for the rest of this week, just so you know I'm reaching for shadows out of there. I almost want to reach for one out of there, but I think I'm just gonna leave it as it is, move on to something else. So I'm gonna toss some black liner in the bottom waterline. I'll use my Jordana 12-hour made to last liquid eyeliner pencil. I love these things. They're like $2.50 from the drugstore, and since some of that did transfer down into my waterline, I'll just put a little bit more down there. What the heck, have it be more of a darker look than I initially anticipated, but that's okay. I don't think I'm gonna go all the way in because I like just having a little bit of lightness right in that region, so maybe I'll put in a nude liner, maybe I'll just leave it how it is. Yeah, we'll toss a little nude into that front portion. This is just my Rimmel Scandalized Waterproof Kohl Liner in nude. It's like $4 at the drugstore. Just right at that inner part right here. Now I'm moving on to liner. I'm actually not gonna do a wing. Shocking, I know. I think I'm just gonna stay right along the you know, the outer corner. I really just like the focus to be on the actual shadow because I think it's really beautiful, and maybe I'll try and take a photo at the end because it looks prettier in person. I just feel like it looks entirely different viewing it than it does in person. So I'll try and get as close to my lash line as possible. I'm using my Clinique Pretty Easy liquid lining pen in black. No wing today. Well, no wing somehow turned into a little baby wing, so it's just a little baby. I had 2 dogs sitting on my lap because there's a thunderstorm starting, so they kind of got freaked out and jumped, and I made a little wobble, and it was easier to just make a little kitten wing than it was to try and take everything off and do a no wing thing. So I definitely prefer this without a wing, but we'll go with it. So since I have all the eye products down and everything on the face down besides my lip products, my mascara, I'm gonna go ahead and do my, makeup setting spray that'll hold everything together. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Extender Setting Spray. Do a couple spritzes of this. So I am going in and crimping my lashes, curling my lashes. I have my Shiseido eyelash curler, super fast. My mascara, I'm still using this little sample. I think these samples are only supposed to be like a 30-day supply or a couple week supply, but this is my Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. It's starting to dry out just a smidgen, but it's still working just fine. So I'm gonna go in and start with the bottom lashes, then I'll go up to the top. I think since I've been using that eyelash serum, I feel like my eyelashes are looking a lot longer and a lot better, but I am actually going to comb through the lashes just to make sure there's no extra clumps. When there's no liner and no wing, it's so much easier for you to see how long my lashes are getting, but let me comb through this super fast and see if I can extend them a little bit more. Let me try and put one more coat just slightly throughout the lashes. I think my lashes look really nice lately. I'll leave this to dry as it is because I think it looks alright as it is. I'll move on to the other eye, do that super fast, then I'll show you what my lip products are going to be for this week. Throughout the week, I have been wearing these two religiously. My Urban Decay Naked Gloss is almost finished. I'm not sure if you can see, but this down here at the bottom, that's all that's left in this tube. Let me show you. I took the stopper out of this. I mean, it's clean. There is nothing in here except for what is down at the bottom of that tube. With all of my stuff packed up, I can't get it out. So I'm gonna try and figure out a way, one of my makeup brushes or something, a synthetic one, I can try and get the last little bit out of this and finish this off before the end of August. I've also been using this so much. Look at this. This is a liquid lipstick. This is one of the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Matte Liquid Lipsticks in the shade Slay. I've been using this one so much that it's definitely starting to show through on the side. There's a swatch of Slay because I'll probably wear this, 1 or 2 more days of the week and then swap over to another bunching of makeup. But for right now, I think would that go okay? Actually, I think that might look nice. I also have my Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Kiss lip butter that's part of the Finish 5 by Fall that I've been working my butt off on. I'm sick. I'm hopped up on medicine if I sound funny, but I lost it for a little while, so I was like, oh man, I gotta like do double duty. I'm like, I asked my daughter, I'm like, hey, do you need any chapstick? And I'll apply a little bit on her, but she's only used it 2 or 3 times. But I've been working as hard as I can on this. I'm not going to show you the progress yet because I'm going to try and film an update video on my Finish 5 by Fall today. But so that's all I'm focusing on for my lip product so far. So we'll just go ahead and toss on Slay. There's not a ton left in here, but we'll add it on. I love this stuff. Then for perfumes, I do have 2. This does take a few minutes just to dry down, so I do have 2 of them. I have one that's in my Finish 5 by Fall that I've been trying to focus on, but every once in a while I do need a break. So the one that's in my Finish 5 by Fall is my Victor & Wolf Flower Bomb perfume. It's the 3.4 fluid ounce version, so it's quite large. It's hard to make progress on such a large bottle, but the other one that I just kind of had in my purse and spritzed every now and then when I need a break is the Taylor Swift Wonderstruck Enchanted perfume. This is probably my all-time #1 top super sweet, sickly sweet fragrance. Man, there's something about it. And it's so hard to find lately. Sometimes you can find it at like Marshall's or, Ross or something, one of those discounted stores for super cheap, like 15 bucks or 10 bucks, but it's hard to find. I wish that it would just stay in stores. Walmart used to carry it, so maybe I'll go back and check and see if they have it there, but as for right now, that's everything that I have been using as far as my makeup and my makeup bag throughout this past week and what's left of this week. So anyway, I really do appreciate you guys watching and sticking through it, even though I had a couple issues with my eye makeup kind of blending and stuff. But I did have a lot of fun filming it, so I really do appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.